Welcome back, guys. So, tomorrow is the day, right? Tomorrow is the D day for which we have been preparing from such a long time. And worry not, because we have prepared our level best and we will easily crack Code Vita. But still, there are a few tips, few facts, few key points that we need to keep in our mind before we start attempting the question. Okay. Now, I'll be sharing what I think is important, but still, I know most of you have some different aspects, some different questions. So, please mention them in the comment section because I'm going to make a video on it very soon, and in that video I'm going to answer all of your questions. Okay, so please hurry up and ask all of your question in the comment section now. And one more thing, right, since tomorrow is code beta for zone 1, right? And I don't know how many of you are from zone 1, but still, if you are, then, and if you can, then please send me the question links in the in the comment section, because I'll be needing them. If you can, then please do it, and thanks a lot for that. Okay, so now let's start without wasting any more time. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk to you about is the errors that you will face in code beta. Okay. Now I'm not talking about compile time means syntax error or something like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm going to tell you how to avoid the main errors. Okay. So firstly, the most important error, the error that everyone's hate, is a time limit exceeded error. Right. This is the error that everyone's hate. Okay. So I'm not going to tell you that you have to optimize your approach or something like that. No, there's no need, because if you can, then you will, otherwise you don't, because we actually try to optimize our approach from the very beginning. So there's no point in telling you about that. But important thing for all the coders out there, if you're getting a time limit exceeded, then try one thing. If you know that the code that you have written is optimized but still you're getting a time limit exceeded, then just as a last resort, do this thing. Try that same code in C language. Okay. Why am I saying C language? C language is the fastest language out there. Yes, it is even faster than C++. Why? Because it is even more closer to the CPU. Okay. Yes, I know. Python is slower, but they keep that thing in mind and they provide the time accordingly to each language. So that is what I'm not saying. But there has been multiple occurrences where the same code that gives you time limit exceeded in Python, that same code give you accepted solution in C. So please try that, because all the competitive coders generally either use C++ or C. Both of them are neck to neck, but still C has the upper hand. Okay, because of some I don't know what, some bottleneck or something. Okay, so uh, firstly try to use whatever language you are best in, whichever language you are comfortable with. Okay, use that. But still, if you know you are getting a TLE, and just as a last resort, you have a lot of time left and you are getting a TLE on that particular question again and again, try to code in C, right? So do this. And again, why I'm saying C, because C is much closer to the CPU than Python, so it's much faster. Okay, just do that, right? Okay, now what about the another thing, MLE? If you are getting a memory limit exceeded again and again, because there is a limited time limited memory allocated to each program, right? So if you are getting a MLE, try to do one thing. Try to avoid avoid using, sorry, avoid using a hash map, a dictionary, and maps. Okay, try to avoid using these, and because these are the main reasons you get MLE. So try that approach again, but without using these. Okay, so these will actually resolve a lot of your problems in MLE. Done. Now what about your CTE? Means compile time error. Okay, so compile time errors, it can occur to many reasons, but I'm not going into that depth. Okay, so I am talking about CTE because many of us, I personally don't like code beta ID. It's not that good. Okay, so I used to do what? I used to type my code in local ID, and then I used to paste it in that code beta code. Okay, but if you're doing that, then keep one thing in mind, that the compiler version that you are using in your local ID is the same as in the code beta ID, right? Because if you are using Python 2 and they are using Python 3, then you are bound to get something wrong, because syntax have changed from Python 2 to Python 3. Okay, if you are using C++ 14 and they are using C++ 17, then you will get some CT, some compile time error, and you will actually always say one thing: it is running in my local ID, but why is it showing me an error when I'm trying to run it in code beta? Okay, so how do you avoid that? Very simple. Try to use same compiler version, and without this you'll get a CT. And please, I know you are smart enough that you can avoid syntax error, right? I'm not talking about that. Okay. Now one more thing, this is very famous thing: presentation error. This is a very famous error for only code beta purposes, right? So firstly, When does presentation error occurs? It occurs when you have a white space character difference. Okay, when you have some sort of white space character difference. Okay, now what I will personally recommend you is don't bother about it. Move on, because presentation error is just same as accepted solution. Okay, it's the same. But still, if you are just that much in your mind that you want to get the accepted line, so do one thing. Try this. What you can do is, suppose you are I'll just say it in Python. If you are using print, and if you're using print and you get a presentation error, then try to use this, your answer comma end and this, because what does print do? It gives you a new line at the end, right? But the compiler, it was not expecting it end line, it was expecting a space. So that is why these sort of error occur at presentation error, right? If you are using C++ and you do C out endl, so what you do, don't do endl. Okay, if you are using Java and you are using system.out.println, don't use println, use print. And if you are getting a presentation error when you are using print, then try using println to avoid presentation error. Okay, but to be honest, it doesn't matter. So don't if you can, then don't even bother about it. Okay, so this was the presentation error. And one more thing, right? I don't know how many of you have given mock beta 1 and mock beta 2, but if you don't but if you haven't, then you must know that, sorry, you must keep this in mind, that there are two type of cases: public cases and private cases, private test cases, right? Sorry, private test cases. Public cases, they are basically, what, they are very basic. They only check a few examples, right? They are only one or two, and they check a few examples. But what about private test cases? They check the boundary conditions, they check the constraints. So keep in mind that if you pass the public test case, it's not a given that you will pass all the private test case. And for those who are giving the code beta for the first time and have not given any mock beta, there is a thing known as private test case. So you have to submit your solution. Okay, because I know it might sound a little bit weird, but people have done this mistake. They said that I run it and it worked perfectly, and then what, never submitted it. Great. So this was all about errors. Any more question, ask in the comment section. I am going to make a video very soon. Okay, your FAQs. Okay. So now let's move on to the questions part. What kind of question you will face? Okay, I'll move on to the question parts. So there are a few facts that I would like you to keep in mind. Is that firstly, they will try to scare you, they will try to confuse you, but don't lose track of your goal. Keep the key points in mind. That is really important. Keep the key points in mind from that ridiculously long passage of paragraph of questions. Don't get confused. Keep the key points in mind, and find out the key points what they're trying to say from that important passage, because the very minute but very essential details will be hidden in that paragraph. Okay, so find those things and keep it in mind. Okay, and by the way, anytime you are starting to attempt the question, keep a, I know it's a sort of analog, but still keep a pen and paper in your hand, because even I do that. Okay, and it helps you a lot. Okay, keep a pen and paper in your hand, and it will actually affect you greatly if you use it correctly. Okay, now what more, don't complicate the question. Don't complicate. Okay, the question may appear difficult, but there is always a back door with a one line solution or something like that. Okay, with a one line solution or something very easy. So the first, second, and third question, they won't be that hard, I can assure you. They will be very easy. They'll but it may appear difficult, but they won't be. So don't complicate the question. Don't complicate the question for yourself and make those questions difficult, right? Don't do these things. These are do's and don'ts also. Okay, so keep these in mind. Okay, now what else? Always look at the constraints. Okay, to know which complexity approach you should use. Constraints are very important. Always keep these constraints in your mind. Okay, now how do you know that if you have this much constraints, then which complexity you should approach? How much you should use n square or n cube, right? Many of us has those doubts, right? So I thought, why not just clear it once and for all? Now let me just go into a little bit of root. I'll just tell you that in 1 second, a normal computer, okay, a normal computer, not a very fast at Okihima computer, okay. In 1 second, a normal computer can perform 10 to the power 6 instructions. I mean 1 million instructions. There are computers that can even perform so much, I don't know how many instructions, but I am just talking about a normal computer, okay. It can perform 1 million instructions in 1 second. And I hope you have checked that your time limit is 1 second, right? So that is why I'm saying this. So look at the constraints and find your answers. Some of the constraints are not boundary based. So sometimes even a little high complexity does the trick. Okay. Sometimes the constraint don't even check to all the boundary conditions. Sometimes if they say 1 billion, they check to like only what oh 10,000 or something like that. So just try it once and check it once, okay, and you might actually just get your answer, okay. So that is how you check a constraints. But let me tell you something more. Suppose your n is this 10 to the power 5, then which type of approach you should use, okay, which type of approach you should use. Firstly, try to use uh, sorry, just give me a second, okay. So firstly, try to use order n approach. You can use order n approach. You can also use n log n approach, okay. You can also use n root n approach when your constraints are in 10 to the power 5, okay. Now what about other, when your approach is in, sorry, 10 to the power 6, then what you should do, sorry, if this is the case, then sorry, just give me a second, right. Just copy this part. If your approach is in 10 to the power 6, then do one thing, try to solve it in n, or try to solve it in n log n, okay. What else, if your order is it's a very high number, let's say 10 to the power 9 or 10 to the power 10 or 10 to the power 8, okay. So at this time you can't solve it with n, okay. It's very rare that you solve such a question with order n. So what you should what you should try, you should actually try, let's say log n. You can only try a log n, okay, a log n approach. What if, now we are coming to a little bit small, what if your n is 10 to the power 3, which means it's 1000, okay. Then what you should try, you should try what you can try n, you can try n what n square, okay, n square, and you can even try n square log n, but don't go that much, okay. What if your number is constraints are 100, it's still 100, okay. Then you can just use n n root 2 or n root 3, sorry, and not n root 3, n to the power 3, okay. You can even use a on3 complexity. You can use even three loops, one inside if you have 100, the constraints are till 100, okay. So keep this thing in mind, and constraints will help you a lot if you just use them at the right time, at the right with the right approach, okay. Now what, let me think, okay, yeah, just like me, take your time and don't rush. You have 6 hours, you have 6 huge hours, and you don't need to rush to the question. You need to just keep those focus. You need to read the questions at least twice, and always look at the test cases, because you know why am I saying read it twice, because reading twice will help you discover some facts that you might haven't read beforehand, okay. So that is why I'm saying read it twice. And sorry, the most important thing, these test cases, they are everything. These test cases tell you a lot about the question than the problem description itself, right. I always say this because I am dependent on test cases. Without test cases, I don't know what to do, okay. So even if you are a pro, try to check the test cases. Why? Because otherwise you will waste up a lot of your time in writing the code, and you would have missed out some key info, and your private cases won't pass. And if that happens, you'll get frustrated, because it happens. You have read the question, you have just thought of that perfect, that solution that no one could think of, right. And you run it, and damn, it passes public cases, but then again, okay, it fails private cases. What should I do now? Now you just get a little bit of angry, you just get a little bit of frustrated, okay. So that is why always check the test cases, always don't rush. Read it perfectly. You have 6 hours, and 6 hours are a lot. For other codes you only get 1 hour for three questions, okay, but you have 1 hour for each question. So always read the test cases, okay. Test cases are very important. And this is what I personally do. I personally prefer, so do this. Try to solve the simplest first. Why do I say this? It's a very simple but a psychological reason. It helps you in getting confidence, okay. If you start from the first from the hardest question and you don't solve it, then it's a bit obvious that your morale will go down, right. So I know it might seem like a little bit of weird, but please try to do that. Try to solve the simplest one, because it will give your adrenaline a rush up, a boost up, okay. And that actually might be a determining factor for you to pass code beta, okay. So try to solve the simplest first. Now all right, so approaches, at which type of question, which type of approach you should take, okay. So these are not some type of hard coded rules, but I do that, so it's all about you. It's up to you. So if you have a graph type question, what do you do? I sorry, write down the indexes. You might have seen that No matter what question I solve, it's chuck review, it's skateboarding, it's a forest fire, it's bride hunting. I always write down the indexes because indexes help me to find the patterns. It helps me to keep a lot of things in check. And one more thing, sorry, keep the boundary condition in check, right? Keep them in check because boundary conditions are a very important aspect of your graph questions. Okay, now DP, right? DP, there might be a question of DP. So how to solve a DP, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you in the details. Okay, you have a video. If you want, you can just go up to there. Okay, you have a Maruvnika K problem in which I teach you how to solve a DP problem, but it's all up to you. So long story short, draw a table, for DP, right? And to come up, try to come up what? Try to come up with, sorry, with the solution. Try to come up with the solution of your, sorry, current, sorry, of your current problem. Which problem you are solving, try to come up with a solution with with uh, the solution of your sub problems. That is what your DP is based on, right? You have to solve the main problem with the help of a solution of sub problems, and that is how you approach a DP question. And you just have to find the pattern in which you are just, you might think that it is happening coincidentally, but it is not. And that is what DP is all about, right? You solve main problem using sub problem solution. So that is DP. Now one more thing, recursion. uh, well, I generally, find DP solution after recursion solution because I just convert recursion into DP. It's very easy. But how do you solve the recursion question? So it's very simple. Actually, that's what my my one of my mentor told me, that whenever you're solving recursion, it's all about imagination, how imaginative you are. If you're imaginative, then you can solve recursion. Why? Because in imagination, you have to use a top to down approach. Okay, and when you're using top to down approach, you break your main question into small parts. Okay, and then you assume that those parts are already been solved. That is what I mean by imagination. Because I'm saying this, why? Because take a very simple example. When you are solving Fibonacci series, what do you do in Fibonacci series? Fibonacci series is it's like this pattern, right? Fn minus 1 plus Fn minus 2. Here, if I'm trying to calculate Fn, then I'm assuming that I've already solved Fn minus 1 and Fn minus 2. Yes, I will solve it a little bit later, but that's not what we are supposed to think right now. Right now we are only supposed to think that, okay, if I do this, we have already solved this, fn minus 1 and fn minus 2, and with this I can easily calculate my fn, and then I'll just calculate my function again, right? Because when I call fn minus 1, then I'll again come to this formula. So that is what I mean by using imagination. Okay, recursion is all about imagination, or I like to think too. Sorry. And one more thing about recursion: 50% of recursion is based upon its base condition, because base condition will give you your first answer. Base condition will tell you that if you are sorry, because in even Fibonacci numbers, we know that if the number is 1, then if the number is 1, then the answer is 1, right? And that is exactly our base condition. So base condition determine our answer. So base conditions are really important. Keep those things in mind. Okay, recursion. Now what? By the way, this is code beta, so there will be impli there will be a lot of question based on implementations, right? So how to approach implementation question? Think from all the possible angles. Okay, think from all the possible angles and try to use advanced data structure, because you might come up with a solution like collecting candies. In collecting candies, what you do, collecting candies is also a previous class code research question. If you want, its link is in the description, you can just check it out. So collecting candies, you just need to find out the minimum number again and again. So you can either do it by sorting like I did, but otherwise you can actually have use some advanced data structures, like you could have used heap, you could have used priority queue, and that is what make the questions really easy. Okay, so no matter what kind of complicated approach you come up with, people already smarter than you have already given up a data structure for that. Okay, so use that, take advantage of that. Don't be afraid of searching internet. Don't be. I'm not talking about coding, I'll come to plagiarism in just a bit, but don't be afraid about searching the code. Know what language it is, because even if you fail the code beta, you'll get an experience that is basically priceless. Okay, so that is why just keep everything in mind and keep everything in check. And last but not the least, my greedy approach is really important in code beta. So I mostly I've done most of my greedy approach. I've done most of them by most of them are solvable. Sorry, just give me a second. solvable just by sorting. You might even don't know what the greedy approach is, but you have actually used it a lot of time. You might have already sorted them, and then you have find the solution, and that is exactly a greedy approach. What does greedy approach means? It you choose the answer that you think is the best at that time. That is greedy approach. Okay, so you can actually just solve them by sorting. There are many different approaches for greedy also, but I just sort them and I get my answer. So these were my approaches for different type of questions. Now comes the best part, our plagiarism, right? So how do you avoid plagiarism? Be honest with yourself, be honest with the code vita. If you are referencing some other time, sorry, if you are referencing from some other site, it's better to put its link in the attribute. Okay, so if you are cheating, it doesn't matter. Just don't, even though, but if you're cheating, please be honest and just write down that link that you are using in the attribute box, because I actually attended a webinar beforehand of a code beta, and some they said that they value honesty more than smartness. Why? Because that is you're not getting a very high package from code beta, right? So I don't know about that, but I at least like to think about this, that don't if you are being honest, then I think that it will actually give you a certain bit of advantage. So try to if you are cheating, I'm not sure if you're not, then don't do anything, but if you are, use the attribute box. If you're cheating for each solution, then put it for each attribute box, because what they do is they simply exclude that site when they're checking for plagiarism. Okay, so try to use attribute box and be honest. That is the best part. Okay, and so we have talked about everything. Please, if you can, then please give me the question in the comment section, and I'll try to solve them. Okay. And what else? Well, that is all. By the way, I think that all of you have practiced a lot. You have, you have given everything these past 2 months, or since when I started my channel. It has only been one month, I think, since I started my channel. Actually, not even 1 month. But still, most of you have just, watched so many of my videos, so much because I have seen that how much you want to practice, and that is why I've just given this COVID tips, and you have already prepared your best. Now just keep calm and do your best. And by the way, this is from me. All the best, and crack it. Okay.